What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tonage Scorpio, and my co host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
We were doing this one a little earlier than normal, so bear with us. This is episode number 62. And yeah, lots to talk about. I think. I don't know. There's a few things to talk about, at least.
Yeah, honestly, like it's been like since CDL's not back, it's been a kind of slow week.
Yeah. But we talked about the X Defiant update last week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a look see here. All right.
Let's take a look see as that's just Tone looking through our DMs.
Yep. I guess we could talk about like the Adam Ross and Dashy stuff. I really
I
don't
don't even really
know.
know what's
I
going
don't
on.
even know.
I just know I apparently like him and that Demi girl broke up, and I think Dashy was like trying to get with her before, and now Dashy's like tweeting about it.
I think he is. I don't know. I don't know why Adam Ross is like a thing. Personally speaking. The man's is like a horrible person. He's a good person, but he does bad things, I guess you could say. I don't know. I don't like him. I cannot love on no skeezer.
I don't even know what he's talking
I
about,
don't
but
even know
apparently that
either.
tweet got a lot of attraction.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, wrong one. Oops, 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 oops. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Um, Adam Ross owns you. I don't think so, bro. I mean, if you look, it says like Adam. There's all saying Adam owns you, but like Adam,
That's all
like
they can say. That's like anytime somebody drops an album at this on the same day as Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift fans do that.
yeah. These are like all like teenagers. All like they're all teenage boys that like have nothing better to do. I
True.
don't know. I can go on a rant about like Ad and Ross for like hours, but I'm not gonna. And then it's just oh
I just thought
sorry.
it was funny last night because
Yeah. It's just
I
it's
saw
so
like a bunch of like CDL accounts talking about it and retweeting, and I was
gosh.
like, I don't know what's going on, but I guess this is pretty interesting.
Well, if you look like oh it went down. Well, like usually like usually his like videos get like less than 100 replies, and this one got over. So I guess that was like a good tip off. I don't know what any of this means, to be
It's
honest
probably
with
just
you.
him going for impressions. To be honest, he probably knew
Probably.
something would happen.
Let me pull up.
Because him and that Demi girl were like playing games together and stuff like, before she got with Aiden Ross.
Dude, how does this man have 2.3 million followers?
It's weird because I don't even know where he came from because I literally never heard of this guy until like last year.
Yeah, until like kick.
It's the same thing with people like Andrew Tate. Like I literally had never heard of these people until the last like a year,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they're just like getting
Like
the spotlight, and I'm like, I don't know where these people came from, but okay.
this man is like not attractive. I'm so sorry, but he's ugly. Look at them. I mean, teach their own, but like maybe it's his personality. Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't posted on Twitter in like a hot minute. See, look, he posted shit like this, like, bro, shut the fuck up. There's not only two genders.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with him, but like,
Ugh. His shit gets like so many impressions too,
I
and
don't. I
it's
don't even know how he has like such a following either, because it's like I just don't know where he came from. Like,
he like literally
like,
rose from like the dirt or some shit. I don't know.
like he just like I don't know. It's probably like a lot of people with Kick though. There's probably a lot of people from that started doing stuff on Kick early that it's like
Hmm. Well,
you
the
had
thing
no
is,
idea who they were, and now they're super popular, and it's
well,
like
the
okay,
thing is I think a lot of it was like Trainwreck. I think he's friends with Trainwreck, so like,
yeah, that might be it. Because Trainwreck was a big reason why Kick like started blowing up.
yeah. Oh, the man says like 800,000 followers on Kick. He streams for like an hour at a time. This man's, yeah, he literally gets impressions because he says um, like, oh, you know, controversial things, you
I feel like
know.
that's a lot of popular Kick streamers that weren't popular before they went to Kick.
Yeah. Um,
I mean, Twitch streamers do that too, but like, I feel
but
like
like still
people on
though,
Kick just try to be super edgy
yeah,
and then
they're
they
like,
get popular.
well, the thing is because they can on Kick, like they don't have to worry about like being banned. Like very few people have gotten banned from Kick since its birth. Or big people anyway.
I don't know. It's like the whole it's the whole Kick thing is just weird because it's like you think you understand Kick and then things like this happen. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like there's people like XQC and stuff that sign Kick contracts and Nick Merckx, and like that makes sense. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like it makes sense that they tried to go to Kick. But there's other people that just kind of blew up off a Kick, and you're like, I don't know who this guy is, but you know,
Yeah, he's followed by like a bunch of like the big dudes on like in LA. Like um like the two hype guys who are no longer part of 100 Thieves, by the way. I did not know that.
I don't even know who those guys were. I didn't even know they were on 100 Thieves.
They're like a bunch of like they play a bunch of sports games and do like trading cards and stuff.
That's why I don't know who they are.
But like they followed a bunch of phase members, 100 Thieves people, um, Vic Star, Scomp, Andy Miller, um, Banks.
Andy Miller, what?
Yeah, he's the phone founder of NRG.
They trying to go to NRG now? They
I
follow
guess.
Andy Miller.
No, Andy Miller follows him. These are all who people who follow him that I know. A bunch of like COD players. It looks like Mr. Beast follows him, so that's probably why. Let me see who he follows.
Also, side note, I love how like everybody universally loved people like Andy Miller, and they probably still do. But it's just funny how like all the Optic fans loved Andy Miller and loved NRG, and then the second Hector got Optic back, it's like NRG didn't exist.
Yeah, it was like, peace out. Fuck you. Oh, optics back. And so are we.
I think a lot of that probably stemmed from the fact that even Hex said it himself as he was going to try to turn NRG into Optic, and they didn't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, like, I understand, but at the same time, like, you know.
I just think some people took it the wrong way. Like some people, like some Optic fans, which this always happens. Some Optic fans probably thought that NRG were like horrible like org people for not letting it turn into Optic when I don't know. I don't think it would have worked with NRG because
No.
NRG was like a super established brand already.
Yeah.
Like the whole like Envy turning into Optic made sense because Envy wasn't really outside of like esports. Envy wasn't really doing anything. Like they
Yeah.
weren't like Optic. So just turning Envy over to Optic was like a much better idea.
Yeah. I think I don't know, cause like with energy though, it was kind of like a life raft for like a little bit. You know, kind of kept the boys doing what they do, and then um,
I just think it's funny how literally anytime somebody mentions like Optic from 2020, they never are talking about OGLA. They're talking about Huntsman. They just
yeah,
say Optic.
yeah. And then that's how you know though that like that's how you know if someone's like actually like an Optic fan or like just like knows gaming. Cause
I
like it
feel
like
like everybody like I don't feel like everybody forgets it, but I feel like most people forget that probably because of COVID and stuff and what happened. But I just feel like people forget that that whole Modern Warfare season even happened.
yeah,
Like I forget about it. Like I don't know. It probably is because I didn't really enjoy the game, and I didn't really watch the game that much, like the CDL. Um, especially after Warzone came out, and I was playing Warzone, but then I got tired of that and whatever. But like, I don't remember like a lot from that season, and that's like one of the only seasons where I don't remember very much. Because like I could tell you like what happened in basically every season except for MW19.
yeah. It was like a weird year.
Like the biggest thing I remember is like the whole like Optic versus Empire thing at the beginning. Um, and then like I remember there was a period like right when COVID happened where the Mutineers won like 3 events in a row. That's like the only events they've ever won. They literally won 3 in a row and that's it. Um, and I remember like Ravens got like fourth at champs, I think, which was really good. Um, but that's it. That's about all I remember.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
I
I
feel
remember
like
one event. I don't remember who they played in grand finals, but I remember one event. OGLA got like second, and everybody thought that they
yeah,
were like gonna overthrow Optic, and
yeah,
then
but
they
they
did. That was like the only
didn't.
good thing they did all year.
Yeah.
Kenny was on that team too, which was kind
Mm,
of funny. Kenny
yeah.
was, I guess, technically on Optic, not
Yeah,
really, but
not really, but kind of.
that's
He
like
wasn't.
that was the whole joke. I remember when Hector got Optic back. Was Dashy because he was on OGLA. He was like, "Bro, I never left Optic.
He's like, I was on it. I was here.
I've been here. I never left."
Man, just stayed.
I do think it's kind of funny. I don't really think that because it's like because it was a whole different team and it was OGLA. I don't think I don't think like I don't think Kenny and I don't think Kenny really talks about it or even remembers it too much. That was his first experience playing
Well,
with Drazo, but um I don't think they talk about it too much.
yeah.
Oh, and
OGLA
it just
was
said
like
talk.
talk deception.
I've been talking.
I know. Um, yeah, OGLA is like I don't know. It was kind of like a poor excuse at like a team.
I just think I don't know. I don't think I don't think the players really deserved what was happening
No, no,
because
no, no.
they just got thrown into a team where everybody was clowning on them because they were a hollow shell of
Yeah,
the organization that they were supposed to be.
yeah.
Like I don't think the players
No,
deserved
no.
all the backlash,
The
and
players were good players.
I never like wanted to like bash the players. I just always hated the org. Like it was the first time that I watched Optic and I was like, I hope they lose.
Yeah. But you know what? We live.
Like I just wanted anything bad possible to happen to not the players but the org. Like
Yeah, like
I just wanted Immortals to just have so many problems with the optic names so Hector could get it back.
yeah,
That's basically what happened.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, we live in the universe where Optic is now in the back of in the hands of Hex. So
That was insane when that happened
I know.
because it didn't get leaked until like right before it happened.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't like the optic envy thing where it got leaked months before and then like we didn't hear a word. Like it got leaked and then like the announcement happened like the next day.
yeah. I think it would have been better if it wasn't leaked.
I don't know. At least they didn't. At least they didn't. At least they didn't like. At least they didn't like show an article or anything. Like they didn't show the press release or whatever. It was
Mm,
just a rumor. I mean, it would. I mean, because it was such a big rumor, it was basically like confirmed. Like, why would this be a rumor if it wasn't true?
mm,
It was one of those kind of things. But at least they didn't show the press release or anything. Like
yeah,
they made it out to be like a rumor.
yeah. And like it was like a big process too. Like Hex has talked about it. Like he kept it very much under wraps. And Kenny, there is no um COD team for energy anymore.
Not anymore.
No. They were the
It was the
Huntsmen,
Huntsman.
but
It
when
was Hector. Hector went over to NRG,
yeah. And then
and then
Hector
they
took that
just
spot with him and then sold it to Nade Shot, who now has or he sold one of the spots to Nade. I think he sold the LA spot to Nade Shot. I don't know how that worked, but one of the
that's all he
spots
had to do.
went to Nade Shot, and now Nade Shot has LA in there.
Yeah, there used to be a TSM team, like Kenny said in Black Ops 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they weren't like very good because they were trying to scrounge up talent out of the pool that wasn't already on a team. I mean, but there used to be like back in like Black Ops 3, that was like a booming year for COD because like TSM had a team, CLG had a team, Cloud9 had
Mm-hmm.
a team. I think Fnatic had a COD team for a while. Like there were a lot of like orgs that weren't in COD before that tried to come over to COD because of the World League. And I just wish it would have worked out better for them. But
Yeah.
they were trying to scrounge up talent from the pool of players that wasn't already signed, and that wasn't
Mm-hmm.
very good talent compared to the players that were already signed.
Yeah. And like I don't know, it's more now it's harder to be compete at that top level. Like if you want to compete in COD, you got to compete in challengers type shit.
You got to pay freaking $25 million for
Yeah,
a
or that.
spot. It's like people like free agents and like Kenny said, like there just wasn't a lot of talent. Like I remember like the biggest names that came out of it was like Lacefield popped on the scene because he played for Cloud9. Um, and Aches played for Cloud9 toward the end of the year. Um, and I don't really remember anybody else. I don't really remember anybody that played for TSM or anybody like that. One of the teams that I think gets forgot that I wish they've said that they have interest in a CDL spot, but they don't really either. They claim they don't have the money, but I think they just don't want to spend $25 million for a CDL spot.
Especially in
Is
this
Rise Nation?
yeah.
I think I miss Rise Nation. They were always a good team.
Yeah, and right now in this economy, like as far as gaming goes, an investment that large for something that's kind of like going down the drain at the moment is not very smart on a business aspect.
I don't know because I mean we saw like G2 has bought out um Rocker, so technically Rocker under G2 now. And then it's like um and then Heretics are in. And like I think a lot of people were questioning why they were buying in. And I think the point is if the CDL dies, it's like they just got they got a quick cash grab because
Yeah.
if the CDL dies, the CDL has to pay teams a certain amount of money. That's what happened with Overwatch League. Is like the CDL had to pay like when the Overwatch League like kind of died recently, they had to pay every team like a certain amount of money. It was like multiple millions of dollars. So maybe that's why G2 got in and Heretics got in, is like they're going to get at least a little bit of their money back. And then maybe they can stay in COD and keep making money.
Mm-hmm. But that's true though. It does cost 25 mil to get in,
It does
which
cost 25 mil. It's like everybody makes that joke of like $300 million league. Uh, but yeah, it does. It costs 25 mil for a team spot.
but I'm pretty sure you have to pay
Uh,
like royalties every year.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, COD isn't as profitable as other games when you run a league the way that you run the COD league. It
Yeah.
used to
It used to
be.
be such a good fucking league. It was the
I mean,
league.
back when the CWL was on, that's why teams like TSM and Cloud9 and
Mm-hmm.
NRG and like all kinds of other teams. That's why like back in 2016 to 2019, those teams are trying to get in. It's because COD was super profitable, but now the way they run the league, it's like nobody wants to be here.
Yeah. Because like it would be better if they just did it better, you know?
If they just ran it like the COD World League,
Yeah.
it would be fantastic.
And
There'd be so many teams from other esports wanting to come in and play. There'd be so much profit because they would probably run it better.
mm-hmm.
Like, but I just don't know if that'll happen.
Yeah, and it's not a yearly 25 mil. It's like 25 mil buy-in, and I'm pretty sure they pay like I don't know the amount, but they pay like another amount yearly to like stay in the league or something.
The thing that I don't understand, and I don't know if this is like, I don't know if this has ever been confirmed, but I don't think the teams ever see any money for their team pack sales or anything,
No, I don't think so.
which is really bad. Like, why are you paying 25 mil and you don't even get money for your team packs? Like, what?
Like, and they don't even have to pay like the entire amount. And like Activision makes so much money from T-Packs.
That's true.
So much money. So,
See, Kenny, that's how it works. But the problem is they don't make enough money from tournaments to justify 25 mil. Like you basically have to be the best team in the league, and like even then, some teams like LA Thieves the won champs for Vanguard, and they lost money that season.
mhm.
They were like they won like they I think they said they made like $2 million, but they lost like $2.5 million.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like esports hasn't really been profitable as like one would hope recently. Like, it's
Well, I think a lot of that comes down to teams paying outrageous contracts
yeah.
and all that.
Like it
They're losing so much money, so it doesn't look super profitable.
yeah. I mean, like it could be, but you know, it happened like the big see with the growth of COVID, like the growth that came to the gaming community during COVID and like the pandemic when everyone was home, you know, they wanted to watch competition, but they couldn't watch any like, you know, traditional sports. So they're like, "Oh my God, people are like playing video games against each other." I love video games, but I never knew that this was the thing. And so they watch, you know, teams compete and da 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 da. So then you know these rumors go around to the investors saying that you know this is gonna be like the next big like this is gonna be the next NBA, like this is gonna be actually crazy. This is the cash cow that we've been looking for, da 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 da. But you know that's all fine and dandy, except player salaries like exponentially grew. And if you can't tell, I've done a lot of research on this. So player salaries like exponentially grew, but and that was all fine, all dandy because like the growth of like esports in and of itself was like keeping up. But now that like traditional sports are back in full swing and people are like allowed to leave their houses again, now that like the pandemic is kind of like officially over, officially, not actually, but officially, um now they're like, oh well, we're not gonna watch esports as much now. And like like the NBA definitely puts on a better show than the CDL. So why watch the CDL when you can watch the NBA when you're more of an NBA fan than the CDL fan? You know what I mean?
I just wish that back during COVID and stuff, like TV people like ESPN would have
Mm-hmm.
covered esports
Yep.
more, because that was like their prime opportunity,
Yep.
and they were just focused on let's try to just cover what we can about these sports that aren't even playing.
What these guys are doing to keep in training while confined to their homes. Not, oh my god, there is still competitive things you can watch right now. It is called esports. Go watch it. Haha. Because they hate us. They think we're nerds, which most of us are, but that's not the point.
I just think it's weird how like back in the early 2000s when esports wasn't that big, that like ESPN was covering stuff like that, and like they were showing esports on TV. Like that's the first time I ever saw Call of Duty was it being played on TV, and like
Mm-hmm.
there were Halo players featured in Sports Illustrated, and
Mm-hmm.
like and I guess because esports didn't really blow up that quick like they expected or whatever, or they didn't want to wait, they just stopped covering esports. But now that esports is like actually blowing up, they just don't care.
Yeah, they're like, we gave it its time. It's no
It's
longer.
like I remember like back in like 2016, ESPN had like an esports section on their like website,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a Twitter for ESPN esports, and then it just died. Like it just, I don't think it exists anymore.
I don't think so either. Or they just don't post on it. Either way. But
I don't know. I feel like especially for like the casual like person who doesn't really watch esports or even doesn't really play video games, I feel like I feel like a game like Fortnite or Call of Duty being covered by ESPN would be huge,
yeah.
because it would just it would just thrust them into the spotlight, especially like Fortnite or COD. Like I think those two are the big ones. Like as much as like everybody likes Valorant, I don't think that's like the easiest game for some random person watching
Yeah.
TV to get into. Like I feel like if somebody saw Call of Duty, they'd be like, "Oh, I played this like years ago," or like, "Oh, I've seen this at like GameStop or something," and then
Yeah.
they like get invested now.
Yeah, because they're like, oh my god, you can compete in this? And especially like, I feel like, that's what happened with Fortnite. Like, the reason why Fortnite blew up so big is because people saw the
Yeah,
World Cup. This kid who is like a teenager won
he was 16.
millions of dollars.
The first Fortnite
Moolah.
World Cup was like I think it was like I think $4 million or something like that
Yeah.
for first place, and a 16-year-old won it.
Yeah, he was on the news everywhere. Everywhere he was on the news. They were like, this game called Fortnite, the game that I have not heard about since it came across my desk, but we're going to cover it anyway because it is impressions. Well, it was impressions, and now more people started playing Fortnite because people were like, you can win $4 million by playing a game. A kid did that. I can do that. And they start playing, and they're like, oh my god, I can't do that. But then they keep playing because they want to get better.
The thing I do like about Fortnite, I don't know if I would ever do it because I don't think I'm good enough to do it yet. But the thing I do like about Fortnite is they do make it really accessible to compete, because there's a whole compete tab on Fortnite where
Yeah.
you can enter all kinds of tournaments. Like I think that's great. That makes me think about when they had game battles integration in COD for like 2 years and then it died.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just like I feel like if it was, I feel like if they gave if people like ESPN gave esports a chance, even if they only covered like the biggest events,
Mm-hmm.
like even if they only covered like COD champs or like any like FNCS event, or if they covered like League of Legends champs or something,
Mm-hmm.
if they like covered one of those events, I feel like it would do wonders for
Yeah,
esports.
it would for sure. I don't know.
Like I remember like Counter Strike used to be on TV,
Yep.
and I don't
The E
know.
League.
I don't think it did that great in
Mm.
ratings. Like I don't think the ratings were that good for it, but like I loved watching it because like it was crazy. Because like I remember watching it like in when they did season one, and like just that was the first time I'd really watched Counter Strike, and I kind of got into it. Then Optic gets the CS team, and then Optic CS team is like basically all NA except for Mixwell, and like it's widely known that like EU is just better than NA and CS. Um, like you have to be really good to do well as an NA player. Um, but then like Optics CS team wasn't even expected to make it to E League, and yet they won it.
And yet
They
they
won the whole
won.
thing.
Because that's just how we do it, Optic. Saying that like I am in an Optic, which I am
And
now.
that was a huge story. Like I'm sure that boosted E League's ratings a little
Oh,
bit
for
at
sure.
least. Because it was like even for somebody who had never seen Optic or anything like that, it was like Optic wasn't even expected to make it. Like they weren't expected to qualify. They weren't expected to beat the teams. They had to play, I think, Envy and Fnatic to qualify, and that's not easy considering you're a new CS team. And they beat them, and they qualified, and then they won the whole thing.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing though. Is like if we just got like the correct exposure, we'd be unstoppable again.
They won over $1 million for that too. I think first place got like 1.1 million.
Holy crap. And they were competing in like 16 other leagues at the same time too.
Yeah, CS used to be crazy. Like before Valorant came onto the scene, there was like a CS tournament every like couple weeks. Like if you were it's the CS team, you were spending almost as much time competing as you were scrimming.
Yeah. Like you were practicing at events.
Yeah, like it basically would just be like fly to an event, go home for like a week, fly to another event.
Go home for a week.
They were like freaking surgeons. Like just go like work and then get to go home for a bit, and then go work, then get to go home for a bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I am ready for Rebirth Island to return to. Is it back yet?
Apparently, Fortune's Keep is supposed to come first.
Okay.
Um, the rumors it's coming soon, like maybe season 2, season 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then Rebirth is probably coming like season 4, season 5.
Oh, I have to wait so long. All right, this is kind of like breaking-ish news. Tweet from Jake Lucky from 31 minutes ago. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy confirms laying off 500 Twitch employees today. We've been working to build a more sustainable business so that Twitch will be here for the long run. Unfortunately, it's become clear our organization is still meaningfully larger than it needs to be.
I mean, maybe it is. I don't really know about the inner workings of Twitch,
I
but
don't either.
500 employees
It's a
getting laid
lot.
off though, like
And it doesn't say from like what departments either.
I'm sure we might. I have a feeling that if enough people are mad about getting fired, that they'll leak things or they'll say things or whatever.
Yeah,
That's what's
probably.
happened to so many people from like Activision.
Yeah, well
It's
they
like
signed they probably
there
signed
was like
NDAs
it's
and
like
shit.
when what's it called? Infinity Ward posted something about like thank you for playing our game in 2023 or whatever.
Mm.
There was somebody from Demonware that used to work at Demonware, and this girl was like, I worked at Demonware for like 3 years, and you guys like ruined like our games. Like, and like Demonware are the people that work on the matchmaking. So she was even mad about the matchmaking system. And she was being forced to make it that way.
Damn. Unfortunate. Well, we'll see. We'll have to wait over the next few months because sometimes there's
I feel like somebody's gonna go rogue and leak something within like a week
yeah,
or two.
because like they all sign
That's
in.
usually how it goes.
I'm sure they all sign NDAs of some
Yeah.
variety. So whether they come up like whether they're like forever NDAs or like a few month NDAs, I don't know. And then we'll see if
Yeah.
someone decides to break them.
I remember when I signed an NDA. And then I finally got to talk about X Defiant. And I was like, yay. I don't have to worry about the NDA now.
Yeah. Dude, when you were finally able to talk about X Defiant, I think that's what we talked about most of the podcast, honestly.
Dude, because like I finally was able to talk about this thing that I had already played for like a year.
Yep.
And I finally got to like fully explain to everybody how good this game was that I had been playing that I couldn't talk about.
Yeah. Oh man. I was stretching, I just cracked like about every bone in my body.
I mean, we are doing this 2 hours earlier than normal.
Yeah, we are. I like literally rolled out of bed. I mean, I usually do that anyway, but this time I really rolled out of bed.
Kenny, you'd be surprised. It's coming.
What's coming?
X Defiant.
That's
He said,
true.
I feel like that game is never going to drop.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, I can understand why people think that, but also, like, this is the best decision they could have made
yeah,
with the situation they were in. Especially now, like, if they drop it anywhere from like now to March, that's perfect because like people are starting to
P1.
get kind of tired
Mm-hmm.
of COD. Like in like a month when I anticipate that they'll be launching it, like people might be getting a little bit tired of Warzone.
Yep.
Like season 1 has lasted like 10 years.
Yes, it
So
has.
so like
Yes.
people might be like slowly hopping off the COD train and now they're going to look for another game.
Yep. And
And
that other
here comes
game,
X Defiant.
yep. So they're either gonna have to old games or they're gonna go to new games, and that's what like the beauty of releasing in Q1 is. It's like everyone, got these games for Christmas, had a couple weeks off of work or school or whatever, grinded the fuck out of them, and now they're like, oh well, now what do I play? And they still have money that they got for Christmas. I mean, I already spent mine, but that's just because I wanted to get Switch games, but because I got a Switch
I'm
for
just saying,
Christmas.
I think that's what's going to happen. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have like all I feel like a lot of people either forgotten or almost forgotten about X Defiant, but when it comes back, it's like all those people are gonna remember.
Mm.
Like everybody thinks the hype train has died, but like everybody thought the hype train died when we first started talking about X
Yeah.
Defiant and people couldn't play it. And then
And then
like
over
when
the
the beta
summer,
came out and people could play it, it just exploded.
yep. I think that since the game's been in the public eye for so long, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Because this happens with games all the time. I think it's just because it's been in the public eye for so long, and like Aches has like been like very vocal about it, and they haven't like been like, oh, we're working on a secret game y'all can't know about, and only have the testers up until launch. Like,
Yeah, basically ever since like the NDA broke, they've been a lot more communicative about it
yeah.
because they obviously could talk about it.
Well, I think that's what is like doing them in as far as like, oh, well, the hype is going away. No, the hype comes back. It's like a cyclical thing.
That's what people forget that that's what happens with COD every year.
Yeah.
Whenever CODs get announced in like June instead of August, Like if a COD gets announced in like June, everybody forgets about it for like 2 months, and
Mm-hmm.
then like it's about time for the multiplayer reveal, and it starts ramping back up. So
Yeah.
if X Defiant does that and they start doing reveals and stuff, and then launch the game a couple weeks after that, the hype will be right back to where it was.
Agreed. But I don't know. What do I know? I don't know shit about shit. About shit. Alright, I'm gonna have to cut the episode here. I gotta go get changed and wake up for his little brother. It's his birthday today. He turns the big 1-3.
Oh
He's
Lord,
officially a teenager. And he can officially be on Twitch, I think, by the laws of
true.
the laws of law. So yeah. So
Yeah,
we have a nice day planned for him of fun things. So yeah. Thank you guys. That's why the podcast was so early this morning. It's because of that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Climb Together podcast. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, etc., etc. All previous episodes are on YouTube as of this one going live on YouTube. Currently, as of the recording date, which is January 10th, 2024, um, if you're watching this live, all episodes will be caught up as of January 14th, not January, February 14th, aka Valentine's Day. So stay tuned for
that's gonna
that.
be a fun podcast
Oh
day. 'Cause
yeah.
that's a Wednesday.
Should we do I'll ask you after the podcast what we should do for that day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the session. Say bye.
Bye.
See you guys next time. Peace.